All right, Coach, coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports brings us to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and our home team. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men.
We play to win. Let's go. At their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Second and 12. At the 31-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. Eric Rowe that time able to knock that pass away.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Here we go, 47. We're going to 54.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Benny Logan jets in for the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Let's go now. Time to end it. Go. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got? What you got, Heavy? Try. Give me something. Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Dolphins' 8-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check 27.
Now a handoff. Geis going right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
On the ground, Geis, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Darius Geis, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Now a carry for Pirine. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Big stop, D. Under pressure.
Here's Pirine. Space to maneuver at the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the 1st quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Defense wins championships, baby. Here go 46. 26.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott is going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, kill.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Here we go. Wide 8.
Check 55.
Here we go. Going to 54. Wide 8.
Let him know. Pump up. He's checking.
26.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10.
Here we go.
And an alley to run. Yards there, a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Now a toss. This is Geis. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Darius Geis with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Geis. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Geis. And some room to maneuver. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Darius Geis on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram able to record his 5th sack of the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. A 1st down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got a first down past the 30. Oh, he sheds himself free. A big play there out of Geis. Give him 42 yards on the ground. So they had him bottled up, able to make a man miss, and then boom, off to the races.
And it's how he made him miss. A little bit of strength, too. Had to work through contact to get him off of him. And then once he did that, now he put his agility to use and took off.
Now a run with Geis. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 35-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
You get block me.
Hey, kill.
Check.
Hey, kill. 26.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's a gain of 35.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, and he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Darius Geis on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Makes the score Chargers 28, Dolphins nothing.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kaiser White, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Parker unable to get that one. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Flush to his right. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Check tight.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Taking it in from the 20 as his guys continue to pour it on. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort.
On the return, the Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
On the ready.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He'll look to throw. And he completes it to Wilson. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Returning, it's Benjamin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
I'm going back to you.
This is Geis. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Geis. Shoves him away. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side, it's Geis. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
They'll run again with Pirine. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Pirine. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting to 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. They'll run it here with Pirine. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Set. Here's it to Pittsburgh. One's the mic. Watch one. Watch one. Night, night, sweetheart. Go. Ready.
Now back to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Joey Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect. And some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I got you. 26.
Now they try the right side here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Past the 20, 10, touchdown L.A. Bo Scarborough. His first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kaiser White. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Rush in.
They try again with Scarborough. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Now Scarborough. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Now a toss play. This is Scarborough. Uses the stiff arm. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
47.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
Kill, 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 kill. 26.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Badgley able to punch this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now Benjamin. A big kick that time, 52 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Bo Scarborough with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Badgley, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kaiser Wright. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
They'll stay on the ground. Barrage again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Last stop. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Let's go.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
It's Scarborough again. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Check the backer, check the backer.
61. Max box. Right. 26.
Shotgun handoff now to Geis. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
They're not ready for this, man. 26.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott from the gun. And it's complete. Henry. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 38-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
19 yards there on the pickup. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? And they'll indeed take a knee.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
I got you. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all...
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
They're in the fourth quarter in Denver. It's the Texans firmly in control of that one. They've scored again. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Begin.
2-6. Here we go. One's the mic. Watch one.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs the defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They run it with Balaj. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here we go.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team here, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Southern California.